What's the product manager's career path? What's a natural next role after PM transition into other non-PM roles?
Yeah, great question. And I think the earlier question also asked, who is a product manager's manager? And I've seen a number of different answers to that. So I'd say in most of the places I see it, product management reports into product management, and there is a product management function with, say, a director or a vice president, or sometimes the CTO or CEO. In a startup or smaller company, often the CEO is the first product manager, and they had the idea, the founder, and they owned that, and they did it for as long as they could, and then they hire product management to help them. So PM usually reports up into somebody like that, who thinks about the role and the function and understands what they do and helps guide them and grow them in their career, and explains to them that you have to figure out what to do, build, ship, and launch. I've also seen situations where product management reports into engineering, and where engineering reports into product, so they wind up moving around a little bit, and it can all work fine. I've managed engineers in the past. I'm managing them currently. I've managed user experience people in the past, and at other times I haven't. So it's somewhat flexible. This goes into the kind of, what does the career path look like? So many product managers look like me, where they're engineers who were inclined towards what does the user want and so on. And then they became product managers. I have known some of them who said, I've done product management for a while. Now I want to be an engineer again, and actually started writing code. I've known others who have said, I want to be an engineering manager, which is really more of an execution focus. I want to care more about how well we're building and shipping code, and let somebody else worry about whether we're building the right thing. So like lateral moves like that are reasonable and happen. I've also seen product managers go into venture capital, private equity, right? Some of these investing roles, and also over into program management or technical program management. So I think these roles, as I said earlier, they're fairly similar. People can move between them, and sometimes do, usually because they realize, I think there can be a bias to say that product management is the coolest job, and if you're not that, you want to be that. And I don't agree with that. I like it personally because it's the job I love, and I think there's benefits to it. But I think sometimes people go after this job because they think that it's the shiny job, and then at some point they realize, you know what, the things I love doing are not 90% of this job. They're one of these related jobs, and so they can shift roles. There's the classic kind of just career progression, which is, I think, where I've bumped into, which is be a junior PM, prove yourself, expand the scope of the number of engineers the company trusts you, keep doing more of that, get promotions, at some point manage product managers and build teams. And so I've built up teams of 20 plus product managers a couple times in my career, managed engineers and others along the way, and you become director and so on. And so that's a fine path as well. I'd say many product managers go to create startups, right? So often you are thinking like a CEO and owning things, and then at some point you get frustrated with having to ask, for permission all the time. So that's also a reasonable career path.